Live from the Schmoes Know Network studios in Los Angeles, California, it's Jedi Alliance Episode 7. And now, here's your hosts, Master Kenobi Ken Napzok and the young Padawan Maude Garrett.
Hello, Schmoville. Welcome to another episode of Jedi Alliance. This is all about the celebration of the greatest saga ever told. Yes, we are dripping with bias, but that's because it really bloody is.
And we're also dripping with sweat because it's 122 degrees. Two twin sons of Tatooine have taken over our location here in the greater Los Angeles area, but we're
about to be Aunt Beru.
Yeah, we need some blue milk stat to cool us off. And of course, I said live up top because I feel in my head we're live, but really we're live to tape here with Jedi Alliance Episode 7.
This is pretty cool. I love special notes to the t-shirts we're wearing. Obviously, you're wearing an AT-AT, even though it says on it.
Got this to prove a point.
Making that point loud and clear. Boba Fett 2.0 returns. There you go. You like that one? The bounty huntress of the shirts, but I like the the color scheme happening here.
Yeah, it's good. I like this pink hair. Can we address this pink hair in the room? It's great.
I dyed my hair pink because I have no abilities to do any hair things.
Totally looks right. It looks like you could fit in like on a Coruscant bar. Like, looks like you want to buy some desk sticks.
I don't want to buy any desk sticks.
That's what I think's going on. So, hey, it's good to be back. We had a great show last week. A lot of fun, a lot of debates, a lot of conversation on Facebook. And you can join that conversation with the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network Facebook page.
If you go to Twitter, hashtag Jedi Alliance, start that conversation that way.
And, of course, I know you're all subscribed to the YouTube channel Schmoes Know Podcast, SK Podcast. That's where you can find all the shows on the network. We got some great ones starting today. Marvel news for Marvel fans. The box office breakdown show is still going strong. Finstock's mask and all.
He's been asked back.
Legally was magically allowed back. And of course, profiles and Meet the Movie Press. We've got all those things going on. Now, I apologize up top too. My Jabba the Hutt did not travel with me. I took a vacation for my 20th year high school reunion, so I couldn't take Jabba with me. I had a great moment, and I thought of you, my co-host here in Jedi Alliance. It's my 20th, so I got a lot of friends there who now have kids, and they're real adults, and they're responsible. I was in line at Rite Aid buying Pepto-Bismol because I had a whiskey-fueled night, and got these Star Wars playing cards at Rite Aid. Villains and heroes, vehicles playing cards. So I think I'm going to challenge you one of these days.
Now, I know for a fact that you are not the kind of person that likes to open anything that could potentially be a collectible one day, but we are going to smash the hell out of these.
That's right. We're going to do it. Of course, we have a guest this week, a very special guest that I'm excited that we get to bring in here and just kind of talk and debate and celebrate Star Wars with.
We are going to ask him the top 5 Star Wars questions. He's going to join the Duel of the Fates battle and decision making, and he has a forced on to educate us all about
a surprise segment. Usually we know what's going on ahead of time. He was like, nope, I'm surprising you two fools. So it's great. Let's bring him on now.
His name, you may know him as Master Yodi. Yeah. It is Mark Reilly from Schmoes Know.
The editor-in-chief of schmoesknow.com as well, the host of Meet the Movie Press.
I love getting the can applause.
The can applause.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Good to have you here, my friend.
I was so excited. It made my Monday, knowing that I was going to come and talk the greatest saga of ever told. And I could actually crawl out of bed this morning with a smile on my face. Usually I don't.
That is some great
especially on Monday.
Now, I know you are a true blue Star Wars fan. You actually have appeared in a Star Wars documentary.
Yes, I have.
The People versus George Lucas.
Correct.
And you were pontificating. Anyone who pontificates on Star Wars on my TV screen, I respect.
Totally. What were some of the gorgeous words you uttered in that documentary?
I have no idea.
Oh, good.
I just spoke. They were just asking questions about the prequels and what we thought about it. I think the main point I was making was a story I told was when they announced the title for episode 1, and everybody was like, "Yeah, what?
Yeah,
Phantom Menace? Yeah." So that was kind of one of my sound bites. I said a bunch of other stuff that I didn't, that never made it. I wish they would have put in. I said that Lucas is going to go back finally years later and Benjamin Button in Anakin Skywalker's face on dead Darth Vader in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That they were going to put in, Anakin's face on there.
Right.
I'm still calling that. I still think that will happen.
Little Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, maybe a little Jake Lloyd, Benjamin Button there, but they didn't use that. So.
And you are also a cast member of the Star Wars trilogy in 30 minutes, Star Wars trilogy in 60 minutes.
That's right.
Patrick T. Gorman's wonderful little stage play that you've had the chance to perform in front of George Lucas himself.
Yes, I did, which was the most insane thing I think I've ever done in my life.
Maude Garrett. Pick that jaw up.
I did my Obi-Wan Kenobi for George Lucas.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
Lucas,
faster, more intense?
Yeah, he basically, after the show, he loved it. He stood in front of us and for a good solid 15 awkward seconds didn't say a word to us. So I was the first one that actually went, "Hi, Mark Reilly, big fan."
It was in those 15 seconds he was thinking, cease and desist?
He was all looking us over. He's like, and then finally he just kind of went, that was really great, guys. That was really funny.
George Lucas is very similar to Lorne Michaels. I imagine they're the same person.
I think they are the same person.
I'll start doing my Lawrence Kasdan week. Han should have died.
Well, Master Yodi, it is time to talk Star Wars.
Yes.
I want to hear from you your very first time. This is the question 1 for our top 5 Star Wars questions.
Yes.
Explain to us the very first time you watched Star Wars.
You won't believe this, but it was 1977, drive-in movie theater.
Yeah.
I saw Original New Hope, and I was 2 years old. My mom has never believed me on this until I actually told her exactly what we were doing. We were eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. We were sitting, the back was open, our station wagon was open, and we were watching the movie. And my earliest memory is R2 going down the canyon when the Jawas get him. It just stuck with me. I remember it. And she's like, "Nah, you were too young." And I go, no.
Sense
we were
memories.
eating, sense memories, exactly.
Did you draw it in your mashed potatoes one day?
Yeah, I did.
And it was a different movie, Mom, but
different movie, yeah. But yeah, that was one of my earliest memories, was seeing A New Hope at the drive-in when it was actually released.
So by the time Empire came out, you're an old veteran at this.
Yeah, and I remember Empire. I remember
5.
I remember Empire having to leave to go to the bathroom when Vader stormed Hoth because I was shaking. I was like really, really scared. I'm like, "Oh, Vader's coming. Oh God, Uncle Lloyd, take me to the pee break." And I do remember that. And then I remember seeing Jedi, and somebody let us all in a give me a J, give me an E, give me a D at the theater.
Really?
So I have a lot of memories for the original trilogy, which also shows how old I am.
Well, no, hey, that's some Force influenced memory if you can remember that at 2.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I've seen all those movies and have them affect you so young. Did you latch onto a character earlier in your life, and has that character still remained your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Luke Skywalker.
Why Luke?
He's always been my favorite. I latched onto him at an early age because he had the lightsaber, he fought Vader, he then beat the Empire, and so I would always play Luke. Later in life, I went back to loving Yoda because of the way that he was portrayed in the original trilogy. Then I switched back over to Luke because I thought they handled Yoda pretty poorly in the prequels.
Right.
It took away a lot of the magic that he had from the original.
What race is Yoda?
Have no idea.
A lot of people don't know.
What race is Yoda?
We're gonna have to encyclopedia that.
Can't they make it up
Wikipedia.
already? I don't think they haven't decided.
We're gonna have to get the Star Wars Encyclopedia out and break that up. And I love that we now have had 2 guests on the show, you and Mark Ellis, who really professed your love for Luke Skywalker, the true hero.
I love him too because from a story standpoint,
one more time. How'd that go?
Luke.
Really frighteningly.
It's really good.
Dance, monkey, dance. Do your Tusken Raider.
My first time was better.
Yeah,
I love that.
I'm gonna make that a ringtone for sure.
Yeah, I just love Luke, and as I've gotten older and appreciate the character's journey, how different he was in New Hope, how different he was in Empire, and how different he was in Jedi, and it was such a great progression.
How different he's going to be in Episode 7
and I
with
can't
that
wait for
beard
that.
and all. Favorite Star Wars quote?
Do or do not, there is no try.
Okay, Chewbacca.
Nice.
Chewbacca, yeah.
Gandalf.
No, that stuck with me, and every time I don't know, I'm doing something, people say it, I say it. So.
I have heard of big CEOs at companies who have that on their desk.
Yeah. My ex-boyfriend had it on a post-it note above the bed. I'm like, really?
Wow. Well,
Do or do not, buddy.
if he had framed it, would he still be your boyfriend? You just the post-it note. You're like, you're not committing to this.
Oh no, it was lovely.
And when the post-it note fall when in the middle of the doing or doing not?
Whoa, whoa. Oh, the force is strong. Okay.
Yeah,
When you team us up together.
This is
I asked
good.
for that one, didn't I?
Yeah, this is
Yeah, you
already
did.
going well. I
Do you
like
have
this.
other quotes that you just happen to slip into conversation without even realizing?
God, sometimes I when somebody gives me a like, hey, are you sure you can do this? I do the Han Solo from Return of the Jedi. Hey, it's me.
Nice.
I slip that in a lot.
And like the whole half smirk as well.
Yeah, and the
Nailed
smirk,
it.
Absolutely.
like the half wink he does. It's me.
It's on.
Yeah.
If you could have any force power, good or bad, Sith or Jedi, what force power would you like to have?
Jedi mind trick.
Oh, that's mine. How
Yeah.
good. I just want to manipulate people's minds. I know it
Yeah.
only works on the weak.
Yeah. I just want it in business negotiations. I think, just be able to kind of like turn it my way. I wouldn't use it for bad.
I would.
I would say. I would use it for business negotiations and maybe for sex, I
Wait,
guess.
you're
I don't know.
you're so pure of heart, Amidala. Why would you use it for bad?
Well, I mean, define bad. It would be like, are
Yeah.
you sure there isn't a business suit in this airplane?
Oh, there you go.
Comfort. That's
Gotcha.
some sort of selfishness.
Yeah, because I've been listening to Jedi Alliance a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that you're not going to go to the dark side.
No.
But
You've been
that
saying
begs the question, Mr. Mark Reilly, the final question.
Yeah.
Would you go to the dark side of the
Never.
Force?
Never.
Someone who roots for Luke Skywalker, I could see.
Never. No.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. I just love the light side. You have companions. You have collaborations. The dark side, there's a lot of rules. The
Right.
rule of two. And then you're always going to be looking over your back.
I also noticed the Jedi side had a lot of rules. You shouldn't do that. You shan't. You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
You can't love.
I guess the prequels kind of made that a little murky area. I just always still go off of Luke Skywalker being
OT.
the last Jedi, and he just seemed to have more fun. And then in the expanded, he meets Mara Jade, and he can get married. So
Right, which now most likely doesn't exist.
exactly.
We think.
Sadly,
So he
think.
just doesn't have kids anymore?
Right?
It's like his swimmers just stopped working.
yeah.
Like, what happened? Like,
Force blocked. That's great, though. That I love hearing all what got you to be a fan, how you became a fan. That's great. I know you love Star Wars, and it's
Yeah.
great. Star Pause.
oh, no! Okay.
Yeah, we waited last week's episode, but this week I want to challenge you up top. Now, Star Pause
love
is
it.
our in-show trivia question challenge that we do. We have 2 minutes on the clock once it starts. I am in the lead 27-23. Now, do you want to draft
Nice.
Mr. Mark Reilly to help you?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be so silly
Do
of
you
me
want
not
me to time it?
Yeah,
Do you want me to
still
time
time.
it?
Yeah, if we can time it, you can time it.
Okay. How long?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. Tell me when to
All
start.
right. All right. I'm just going to go with these questions. We don't have the cards this week. We got 2 minutes starting now
Go.
for you, young Padawan. What did Ben put on Luke's head when he was training him in the use of the Force?
Bonk, the visor shielding helmet. The one
Okay.
that blocks out his vision.
All right. I'm gonna go to Reilly to make it a a more.
That's exactly
But with the blast shield down, how can I see?
But you got it. I was going to give you that point.
That's beautiful. Master
right.
Yodi.
Where, in her attempt to save Alderaan, did Leia say the main rebel base was?
Reilly?
Dantooine.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Good.
They're on Dantooine.
They're all on Dantooine.
She's far too trusty. All right. How many captured rebels were marched down the hall by stormtroopers at the beginning of A New Hope after the initial battle?
Riley's laughing.
That's a hard one.
I know. That's what I'm
laughing
asking.
because I'm
I
not
ain't
gonna
letting you
it.
get out of this early.
Yeah, I'm not getting that one.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
Hold on, I'm confused.
Just-
you actually don't know the answer?
I don't know the answer.
I thought you were just joking.
No, I don't. I've
how many
never
rebels
counted.
were being led down? Mm-hmm. Oh, so you think it's a high number? Like maybe 5?
Sure.
Are they in pairs?
Were they in pairs? No, I
Press
think
us-
they're in a line.
Press of Salon
Just give a throw
You
number
got a
out
minute
there.
12.
5.
That's wrong. It's 6.
Oh, of course.
We're staying on the blockade runner. What kind of mission did Leia insist that her ship was on?
It's just like a transport. It was not on. She wasn't on a mission. She was merely. She wasn't.
Minute 30.
This is the thing.
Do you want me? Or
Of course I do. That's
diplomatic mission?
Ah, damn it. Yes.
Okay.
All right, 3 out of 4. Wrapping up here. We got to speed it up here. How many stormtroopers captured Leia on that ship? Set them to stun.
How many stormtroopers captured Leia?
Yeah.
Well, they usually only need 2.
Okay.
No, that's obviously not it because he goes, okay, if it's not right. So then say another word.
What do I do? 3?
3.
3.
It's 4.
Damn.
All right, final question. I'm going to give this the question. Why did Jabba put a price on Han Solo's head?
Because he owed him money.
I'm going to just keep silent because
Reilly, because he had owed money and he couldn't pay it.
Or is because he dumped his spice?
that's it. You got it.
That sounds
4
like
out
a
of 6.
euphemism.
4 out of 6. You have tied me. We're tied up at 27.
But I helped you, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
Okay,
gosh.
good, good.
Absolutely.
I helped you.
I'm sitting
That's
there going,
I will get my revenge later on if I have the opportunity. So with that done, Reilly helping Maude tie up the score in Star Pods 27-27, going back to episode 1. It is now time for our weekly news segment, Renewed Hope, a look at this week in Star Wars news, and it's been a big week. We have Queen Amidala ready to address her people.
Thank you, Master Kenobi. Hello, Master Yodi. Thank you for
Hello.
joining me in the council today.
Oh, sorry. I mean, hello.
Greetings, I gave.
Greetings, I did.
So the first story is that Obi-Wan may have his own spin-off movie. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Now we know this because there's a lot of rumors about different spin-off movies happening, like Boba Fett, even though it should be Booba Fett, just saying. If that's not out there already, then you're doing it wrong, Lucas. In 2013, Bob Iger did an interview with CNBC, and he said, when we're exploring very seriously with George the acquisition of Lucasfilms, the idea of producing a few so-called standalone films that were not part of the original saga came up. We didn't really discuss it in great detail, just a few of the possibilities, but what I can confirm today is that those possibilities are becoming more real, and they are now creative entities that are working. Creative entities working on developing scripts for what could be those standalone films. So, the films are 100% happening. These little side ones. And we know there was like a Han Solo side one, Boba Fett, Yoda, Jabba the Hutt. But an unlikely source, the Star Wars Union from Germany, they broke the scoop of Disney's schedule for the new era of Star Wars films. Are you ready? 2014, Rebels, we know that. 2015, Episode 7, we know that. 2016, Boba Fett. 2017, Episode 8. 2018, Solo. 2019, Episode 9. And 2020, Red 5.
I've heard all this. Yeah.
Yeah, of course you have. You're the editor-in-chief of schmoesknow.com, your source for movie news, reviews, and clues.
Nice plug.
But is the Obi-Wan thing really happening?
Well, I mean, if it is you, I love your huffs
I don't
of
know.
hate.
It's
I
me.
heard that. Yeah, hey, it's me. I heard that a while ago. But you know what I do like off of the story that we just did post on schmoesknow.com was that there was a poll that StarWars.com did, and the most popular character was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
He beat out Boba Fett. He beat out all the big ones. So it would make sense if Lucasfilm and Disney are looking at that popularity and going, yeah, from a business side, that makes a lot of sense.
And he's got so much story that's uncovered. You know,
Yeah.
we see him delivering Luke to Owen and Beru, and then you see him again on Tatooine how many years later?
Yeah.
And he's a different
18,
man.
19, yeah.
And he's been by himself. Like, that is a chunk of time that I would love to know what happened.
Yeah.
And look, unilaterally, everyone agrees one of the best things about the prequels was Ewan McGregor's performance.
Yes.
He was great.
Ewan McDonald.
Yeah.
So is there any hints as to that it would definitely be him? I know that's what's going around the net, but
Ewan has said in previous interviews, if he was to reprise his role, he would do it.
Oh,
if he
yeah.
was
In a
asked,
heartbeat.
he's in.
he's a huge fan. The joy he had making the prequels, comments can be made about the prequels themselves, of course. He had so much joy doing that.
He nailed the lines. I love just listening to his voice.
Yeah.
He put such a great character and spin on a dud script.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
what the
I
lines
agree.
he had.
Hey, if it is just a rumor, I'm buying in even. And in my head, it's going to happen.
I hope it happens, actually.
What do
now
you think
that I
Red
talk about
5
it.
is?
That one confuses me. We've heard that one for a while, too. I mean, obviously, Red 5 is Luke's call sign in the movie version, Blue 5 in the novelization version. So is it just a story about Luke Skywalker taking down the Death Star? Or we've already seen that. Is it a story about the call sign through the ages? I don't know.
I always thought it was the Rogue Squadron storylines that they did in Expansion Universe, but Red 5 makes me, that's his call sign. So don't know. I haven't heard much on that front. It's always Solo or Yoda movie or Obi-Wan or Boba Fett movie, but Red 5, when that was leaked or whatever it was like, huh? So I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Story number 2. Daniel Craig has a small role in episode 7 and Greg Grunberg has been confirmed too. I'm waiting for your noise.
Okay.
There it is.
Whatever.
Now, an article was posted on the Metro reporting that Daniel Craig has landed a mystery role in Ep 7, according to reports. He's already filmed it. He headed into Pinewood Studios in secret for 2 days last week. And apparently you're going to have to really put your guessing hat on for what character he's going to play, because his face is covered in the character that he is. He was very, very set that his name was not to appear on any of the billboards. He just wanted it to be a minor role. He didn't want his namesake in it, hence his face not being shown. But you want to call this out as bull.
Yeah, I think it was actually
Bantha
debunked.
Poodoo?
Yeah, it's Bantha Poodoo, because somewhere we were going to post this, and then somebody came out and said, guys, calm down. He's there filming Bond 24.
We heard this rumor too with, remember, Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Just stopped by to maybe have a sandwich with JJ. Next thing you know, he's a Jedi in the rumor mill. But look, I have a giant man crush on Daniel Craig, so if he's involved with the Star Wars universe, me and Mark Ellis are going to get our tickets even more early now.
Yeah, I would love it.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's true, but I mean, I think it just because he's at Pinewood doesn't mean he has a role.
Agreed, but
He was seen in Leia's studios, her changing rooms, her dressing rooms. I'm making it more salacious than it is.
Yeah.
He was just
really now you're really spreading some rumors.
Apparently they're friends, and he just popped by to say hi.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because he was in the role or if he was just nearby shooting.
Sure.
And here's the thing too. Essentially, we could never have this confirmed if he's so secretive about it that you know he's going to punch you if you reveal it. So who knows? But I know that story ran, and it got me excited when you hear about those things. This guy's going to have a part. You know, Fillion in Guardians of the Galaxy, cool little part. You know, it was just his voice over this kind of CG character. Yeah. That one kind of made me perk up. Like Bond in Star Wars, even just for a second, I'd be happy.
Bond Wars.
Bond Wars.
I'd pay to see it. And also Greg Grunberg. He's JJ's childhood friend.
Yeah.
You go back through his history of what he's been in, Heroes, he was in Felicity, like all these things that JJ's had his name in, it's like, boom, he's in there. And like, I love his tweet. He did tweet saying, "It is safe to assume I have a role in Star Wars Episode 7. If I say more than that, JJ will have me killed."
Right. Hey, JJ's loyal. I like that. If I ever have a movie made, I'm going to have Mark Ellis and Christian Harloff be like taxi drivers or working the trash trucks in the background.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking.
I'd totally do that for them.
I can see that.
I like that.
I've just been informed that I've been fired by Christian Harloff.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm hosting now? Oh, okay. Sorry, dude.
Master Yodi, okay, the third story. Sorry about this, Master Kenobi, no offense. Now, photos were accidentally taken on a UK flight that shows a half-built Millennium Falcon and an X-Wing. A man who was doing publicity shots for a flying school went through his photos. Boom, what do you know? He's just captured the Millennium Falcon and an X-Wing.
Yeah.
Check out the picture of it. It looks pretty cool. They've only built half of it. And what they're saying is the reason why they only built half of it is for shooting purposes. So they can do their long shots and still kind of shoot from the cockpit and have like full maneuverability.
Sure.
There's ability in there. Someone who works a lot with special effects kind of tapped in and went, hey, that's why they're doing it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this, though?
Look, we talked about this on Schmoes Know, the main show, the movie show last Thursday. We ran with the story. And Matthew Myatt is the name of the photographer who just happened to be flying his little Cessna over this thing in London. It's not a surprise, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Do you like the look of it?
I like the look. I mean, it looks like the Millennium Falcon to me, and an X-Wing. So
the X-Wing looks like a giant Lego piece.
Yeah.
You know,
it's cool. I'm happy to know that it's happening.
Right. Yeah, and there was another shot a little farther away. There's these tubes that I think were missiles going to an old Air Force base they're shooting on, and they had 2 X-Wings waiting. So that's cool. You know, maybe.
And they were kind of different coloring though this time.
Well,
weren't they?
I think there's blue tarps on them right now.
Oh,
a lot of people said, "Oh, they're blue X-Wings." I think those are blue tarps.
Oh yes, it does look like a tarp. Indeed.
Yeah, but again,
it's been covered.
Not shocking. But aren't you excited?
Yes.
Like, cool.
That it's not CGI.
Yeah.
That it's actually a real thing. Yeah.
That's what I get really excited for, that it's practical effects.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it seems. You know, if they're building these whole huge ships, that's just great. That's just awesome.
Yeah, cool. Star Wars.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I get Reilly's help or am I on my own?
Good
No?
luck. You're ahead.
I love this.
I'm ready.
Oh.
You got a timer?
Yeah, I got a
2
timer.
minutes. Give me 2 minutes, kid.
Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Hold on.
I have to do ones that I haven't already asked.
We are
you.
tied at 27 in this week's Star Pause competition. I'm gonna jump ahead. I'm going for 6 here. That's my goal. Anything less is a failure.
All right,
Okay.
6 questions. Your time starts now. What happened to the band of Jawas that sold R2 and 3PO to Luke?
Well, they were destroyed and disintegrated and burnt by stormtroopers.
Yes. What do moisture vaporators do?
Well, they take it's for moisture farming. They take the moisture in that the Tatooine atmosphere, that climate, and they turn them into water.
Great. They absorb moisture from the atmosphere. I'll give it to you. Who did Leia say would be able to retrieve the information R2 carried once Ben delivered him to Alderaan?
Her father, Bail or Organa?
Yes.
Okay.
Who got it from Luke's
Then
father?
that's my answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. What was Ben Kenobi's mission on the Death Star?
To disable the tractor beam.
You're so good.
You are good, sir.
What did R2-D2 call C-3PO when the larger droid refused to get into the escape pod?
I'm going to tap out to Reilly.
What was it again? What's the question?
What did R2-D2 call C-3PO when the larger droid refused to get into the escape pod?
Oh.
I don't know this one,
The
but
escape pod.
Prissy coward is not the answer, right?
I want to give you a point for it so bad. A mindless philosopher.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not a mindless philosopher. You okay?
And
That's
last question, what was the name of the place where the Tusken Raiders attacked Luke?
Were they the Junlin Waste?
You're amazing.
All right,
Nicely done.
I'll take it.
There you go.
5 out of 6. That's good.
That's good, man.
Who does?
32-27.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Every question I was asked, I'm like, Reilly?
Very New Hope heavy questions today, but that's good. You got to know where it all started.
true.
So from there, we're going to continue the discussion with Duel of the Fates. Each week, we throw two things into the ring and debate it. Last week, it was a bit of a fight club. Ugnaught, Jawa, who would win, and the final total from that.
Yeah, look, we both pitched Ugnaughts, and I thought we did a pretty solid pitch with it, but it turns out the Jar was almost tripled in score.
That means people sided with our guest Allison Hayslip last week, who was very solidly on their side.
Jar was 44,
I would've
Ugnaught
chose
16. You would have chosen Jawa?
Yeah,
Why
I
is
would have
that?
gotten the Jawas. They're just like more creepy, and I'm kind of going off of because I did listen to your show, but also they have all those weapons that they can use to take out droids. Why don't they just use them against the Ugnaughts?
Right.
I just think they'll win.
We thought it would be a fist fight, but everyone else happened to say that the blasters were a big asset for the Jawas.
I think so.
Ben was saying, "Are you kidding? Jawas took out R2. That is an accomplishment. That little guy is scrappy. Ugnaughts were only able to get 3PO pansies."
Yeah.
Mason said, "My money is on the industrious Jawas. They have a dash of badassery. Sure. Well, I think that's the first time I've ever said that word.
Yeah.
Welcome to America.
That just can't be ignored." And David said, "A Jawa because they are living in the wilds and surviving by their wits, unlike the Ugnaughts who are living in the comfort of civilization."
But the people who sided with the Ugnaughts, we had Brock Cheek, which I enjoy your vivid videos. Ugnaughts, those things are vicious. They aren't even scared of Wookiees, which was one of my points.
That's pretty good.
That's still Tusken Raider.
Yeah. Stan Wilkes said, as much as I love Jawas, the Ugnaughts would win easily. I mean, they've spent their careers near Carbonite. They can take on anything. And Michael Greenway, one of our dedicated listeners and followers, said Ugnaughts for all the points that Queen Amidala Master Ken mentioned, which we mentioned that they're not afraid of Chewbacca, that they're kind of, you brought up their history, which is they were thrown into fighting pits growing up.
Yes, they had to fight to death if there was too many of them going for the same job.
I love that. Where'd you hear that? Is that Wikipedia?
Oh,
Wikipedia?
Yeah, that is my Bible.
Nice,
Wikipedia.
yeah.
Right.
I get that.
Right. So this week, we're going to go a little bit outside the box. We've had X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, Best Death, all that kind of thing. This one is kind of theory versus theory, and it could be yes, no, or maybe, or yes, no, neither could be the answer. Duel of the Fates this week is, should Han Solo or Lando Calrissian been killed off in Return of the Jedi? A little backstory here. Of course, Harrison Ford and Lawrence Kasdan felt that Han Solo had nothing left to give to the cause, and that the cause needed to have a victim, needed to have a sacrifice, needed to have a cost. They campaigned for Han Solo to be killed off. That's when Lawrence Kasdan's famous quote, "I told George Han should die." And Harrison Ford, of course, barely wanted to come back for Jedi, sleptwalked through it, and I think he wanted it to end. But now we're glad he did, and he's back for episode 7. And the Lando, there were some thoughts that I don't think was actually shot. Maybe you could back me up on that or not, but there was actually an ending planned where Lando Calrissian died in the explosion of the Death Star.
That's right.
Which of course meant Nien would have gone too.
I know, that's like the only reason why I want Lando to go. But then we would have lost the Millennium Falcon, so that's the ultimate sacrifice also.
And of course, that famous foreshadowing scene between Han and Lando before they took off. And she's the fastest ship in the fleet.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And
So
if she wasn't fast enough.
Yeah.
let's put it to you. I'm going to start with you, Mom.
No, start with the guest.
Start with the guest. All right.
Wow.
He's such like family. I don't consider him a guest. Mark, go ahead and start us off. What would you choose, or would you say neither?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would probably go with Lando. And I will tell you, because I like the original, there was the original ending that he wasn't going to make it. So when you are watching the movie, that script did foreshadow an original ending. I feel like I'm never going to see her again.
Yeah.
Han says to Lando. And I think because Jedi's such a great movie, and it could have used a little bit of a
loss.
Yeah, loss that Lando didn't make it.
It was so happy. Everyone celebrated.
Yeah, because I'm also very selfish. I just didn't want Han Solo going.
Right,
period. Even though I know he wanted, and I think he wanted to come out of Carbonite dead. I think that's what he wanted. Yeah,
he didn't even want to go that far. Just have some body double full.
I know. He's in the back going, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
It is true. Harrison Ford made it very, very clear that he just doesn't like Han Solo as a character. He was, really campaigning for him to die, and he just wanted that sense of closure from the character. And I think it's because he never thought Star Wars would be so big, and he never wanted fame. And Star Wars just, projected him into absolute fame, and everyone knows who he is. And this character still defines him, and he just wants to shake it off.
Yeah.
Rumor has it he only accepted Episode 7 so he could finally die.
Yeah.
Once and for all, he could have ended it.
All right.
If it meant, if Han Solo died in Episode 6, Harrison Ford would have been a happier man the last 25, 30 years. I say he should have died. Because that has wrecked his life and sucked happiness from him.
And you probably had a chance to, have you interviewed him yet?
Yes.
He's kind of a crinkly interview, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's so grumpy. And I was like, wow, another sci-fi movie. You must really love sci-fi. And he's like, what is this? I've done like 62 movies and 4 of them are sci-fi. What about the rest? And I'm like, no one cares about the rest. We love Star Wars. And I think that's exactly why.
They care about that, Indiana Jones, and you had sex with an Amish girl once. All right, that's all we care about, Han.
But Lando dying would have been a great one as well because, like you said, the script was leading up to it, and I really can't stand Yen Nub.
Nien Num?
I'm never going to learn his name.
Yeah.
Well, I think didn't Harrison Ford say and give a note to George Lucas and Kazan? It's like, I think my death would be like, I'm a martyr for the rebellion, and I think that's what the death Lando would have done.
In Empire Dreams, that's what Harrison Ford does talk about. Han had no family. Han had, he had nothing left to give to the cause except for his life. Yeah. So you would say Lando then, officially?
Oh, just to get rid of Nien Num.
Nien Num? You hate him that much?
Really can't stand him. Every time he comes on, I get angry. I get overwhelmingly angry.
Is it just because, was it the look of his mouth?
He didn't do anything!
Vaguely, he co-piloted the Millennium Falcon in one of the biggest battles in history.
He should have died. It should have been like, and Nien Num's like, splat. And Lando's like, I didn't see that coming.
So if Star Wars had been turned into an HBO show, Marv would have been happy when Nien Num's head exploded.
Yeah, gone. No, I actually think out of both of them, Han Solo should have died.
Han Solo,
should have died. I don't want him to die. I don't want this.
Yeah.
But for the sake of Harrison Ford, yes.
I've always carried in my heart that the movie needed to have a more grittier ending as I got older. That's one of the reasons Empire became my favorite over Jedi, though I loved Jedi as a kid. If Han had died when I was a kid, I would have been emotionally scarred, I believe. But in terms of storytelling, I vote Han. It was the bigger impact. I wish he would have maybe stayed to the end. Maybe he dies during the battle on Endor by the bunker. I don't know. I know I'm getting shaking heads and middle fingers at me in the audience. And I'm glad we get to see him come back here in Episode 7 and kind of mumble and trip his way through this movie.
Put money down, he dies in it. I've got money on this.
The easy money is that Han Solo dies in Episode 7 and probably Princess Leia too. Christian Harloff thinks she's going to die in the opening credits.
He's iffy.
But I would go with Han. Lando's death would have made some sense. It just wouldn't have carried the weight. He was a secondary character.
That was a safer death, though.
Safer death.
Yeah, they would have got less hate and less harsh reaction. Lando's like, but he wasn't in the first one.
Yeah.
He betrayed Han originally. He kind of earned it. Yeah, he came good, so he died on a good note, which is what happened with Vader. But is that too much?
And with Lando surviving that thing is one of my favorite moments from Jedi. I mentioned I really like Lando Calrissian as a character. Exactly. And I even like Nien Num. Of course, his figure hangs on the wall in my room, which is probably why I've been single for 38 years. But I'm going Han. You're going
Lando.
Han. So
Okay.
Han on the set here, 2-1. We're going to put it to you guys.
On the
out.
couch, I think it's neither. No, we've got Ellis and Duff.
I think they're on my.
Ellis and
neither.
Duff.
Neither.
Duff
They're
Howell.
shaking their heads. They're
Jeez.
shaking their heads. They're
Anyone?
abstaining. They're abstaining
Han,
their vote.
Lando, either, none. Ellis
No.
says absolutely not. Don't kill them. Don't touch them. Don't talk to me.
Let Han die in episode 7.
Let Han die.
Let Han die in episode
seven,
Off once
says Duff.
Han and Leia to die down at the diner while they're
What,
waiting for their
together?
kids to come home. All right. So we, of course, have on the Facebook page, you're going to post that question.
Yes, absolutely. So if you do have a Facebook page, and most of you do, just search the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network. We'll pop the photo up. Answer, do you think Han should have died? Do you think Lando should have died? Or, again, screw you, don't even joke about this.
And you can join the conversation on Twitter by hashtagging Jedi Alliance when you talk to us at Maude Garrett, at Ken Napzok, or at Reilly around this week as well.
Yeah.
So that has been this week's Duel of the Fates. We leave it to
was a
you,
good
the
one.
fans, to decide this thick, deep conversation about death in Return of the Jedi.
That's a meaty one, guys. That's a really good. That just.
It would have changed a lot.
I'm changing my mind now. No,
Really?
I'm kidding. Lando goes.
Hey, it would have. I know George wanted the happy dancing Ewok ending. I get it.
They had Vader burning on a pier.
Vader
Pyre.
dying was
Pyre.
pretty deep too. So
Yeah.
you can't complain there. It's not like he made a bad decision. He just didn't make a tough decision or a tougher decision, a darker decision.
He needed to become friends with the other George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
And we're like, who should I kill? All of them.
Yeah.
Dropping like flies. But you know what, Master Yodi, it is time for you to step up to the podium.
Yeah.
Our segment Forced On is where we put the spotlight on one particular part of the Star Wars universe, whether it's
Yes.
comics, books, games, whatever it is. Yes, good.
Yes,
He says.
I knew right away when Mr.
Master Kenobi.
Master
Get it
Kenobi,
right,
sorry,
Master Yodi.
told me about this. I love it. So just go. Well,
Just do it.
Well,
Forced
first
On is yours.
I wanted to show this this memorabilia for you.
Okay.
Because I found this, and maybe if you wanted to, use it as a prop or something.
Wow. Where did you find it?
That was just given to me because, as my family knows, I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So every Christmas and every birthday, I usually get some sort of Star Wars
That's
gift.
great.
And for those listening on iTunes, what it is the Star Wars sketchbook by Joe Johnston, who of course did all the original work.
Yeah.
This was released in 1977. So
Yep.
this is the sketches, basically the.
The reason I love this is because Joe Johnston was hired as a storyboard artist to do some of the work, and so he would work with Macquarie,
Ralph McQuarrie, yeah.
And then because it was so good, they hired him to do all the model work and to do the designs for it. So this is all his original
They
designs.
even have the T-16 Skyhopper in here.
Oh.
So I just wanted to
which is
show that
what-
off because I'm a big geek and
But that's not your Forced On?
That's not my Forced On. I am going to bring up Dark Empire.
Okay.
Which is a comic book run that took place. I couldn't find the original, so I brought the sequel. Okay. Dark Empire is so good, guys, and it takes place.
Hold on, is this a graphic novel?
This is a graphic novel that Dark Horse did years and years and years and
But
years
it
ago.
looks like it's in pristine condition.
Of course it is.
I'm almost afraid to touch it here.
Yeah,
Yodi.
don't touch it.
Right?
Where's your gloves? Yeah, no, and what I love about Dark Empire is that it picks up after, I know it's expanded universe, picks up after the events of Heir to the Empire, the Thrawn trilogy, and so it starts up there. It's the graphic novel, and what I love about it is that Luke Skywalker goes to the dark side.
What?
In the story.
And you still think he's the best one, huh?
Yeah, because he's finally redeemed. I don't know if you want spoilers on this. If you want me to tell you the ending,
Let
or
our fans maybe decide
Yeah,
for
if
themselves
they-
what
but-
they want, or if they want to read it or not. But give us a hint.
but I really like it because yes, it does bring back the Emperor as a clone, which I kind of dug because the Emperor managed to transfer his, and that's not a huge spoiler for the series. I think a lot of people knew this, but he transferred his what do you call his consciousness. He had a vat of clones waiting for him. He was ready for this, and so then Luke picks up on his presence and chooses to go face the Emperor, and then realizes there's only one way to help the rebellion rebuild the New Republic, and that's
with
by
those
going to the
clones?
dark side.
What?
Yeah, so
what
it's
powers does
very-
he want to tap into?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna. I mean, I do, but I don't want to tell you. I want the audience to find it.
wanna know.
But what I'm really noticing,
you
a
will
lot,
tell me.
Is this like when the half hand had Jon Snow join the wildlings? Is this that type? You got to go in to win.
Yeah, that's what Luke's thing was. He's like, I know Yoda and Obi-Wan said I shouldn't do this, but you know what? In order to, which I love that it was mirrored later.
Yeah.
In Revenge of the Sith with Anakin ultimately falling to the dark side. It's like, well, I want to help, and I need to understand it all, so I'm going to fall to the dark side.
Yeah.
Ultimately, his detriment. Luke is, you'll see. But what I love about this series is that there is some really interesting parallels to the series from the rumors I'm hearing of Episode 7.
Oh, really?
Like
Spoiler
alert!
Han. Spoiler alert! Like Han is flying a Star Destroyer in Dark Empire.
Yeah.
Okay. He's rumored to be flying a Star Destroyer in Episode 7.
Why does he fly it?
They're rebuilding the Republic, and they've taken all these ships, and there's a civil war going on with the Empire and all those different factions of these stormtroopers everywhere. So there's some interesting stuff going on that I'm kind of seeing happen in at least the rumors of Episode 7,
right.
as well as Dark Empire starts and Luke's kind of missing. So it's very interesting.
Interesting.
And
Check it out. This is the sequel. This is the sequel here.
Luke has been kidnapped at the start of Episode 7.
I guess that's the rumor.
That's some of the rumors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the Millennium Falcon in this one, so it's
Millennium Falcon's there, and it also
Fascinating.
Dark Empire 2, the sequel, reintroduces Boba Fett.
I've just turned to that page.
Yeah, Boba Fett did live in this series, but I like it.
Do we know how he escaped the Sarlacc pit?
Yeah, he just flew out of there like everybody knew he would.
Right. Okay.
So I love it just because of it. One, the art is fantastic. It's a different kind of look.
Did McQuarrie, because this has a foreword by Ralph McQuarrie,
Yes,
so was he involved in the art?
No, he just kind of commented on it.
Okay.
But the art, it's done by the same team. It was Tom Veitch and Cam Kennedy, the artist. And the art, through, I think it's Dark Empire 2, and then the third Empire's End.
Now, where can we get these? If anyone wants to get them, is it like on Amazon?
Yeah,
or?
Amazon. I've seen them all over. I know I usually pick one out when I'm at Barnes and Noble.
Head to your local comic shop and start yelling Dark Empire until they get them.
Absolutely, it's just fantastic.
Does Luke get yellow eyes when he turns to the dark side?
Not in maybe. I have no idea. Actually, I don't know.
If
His father did.
Yeah.
Right.
It runs in the family.
Yeah, I know, right? They were yellow all of a sudden, and I'm here going, that happened in Twilight.
Yeah, I think it was before. Dark Empire 2, it's way before the prequels, before they even anything was established with those yellow eyes.
And of course, officially not canon, and Dark Horse has lost the license, as we talked about. But I think Dark Horse did some great things over these last 20+ years in their stories.
That's some of the best, and that's really old too. It's been around for a long time.
Outstanding. Well, Dark Empire and Dark Empire 2 and the whole series. And what's the last one you said?
Empire's End.
Empire's End.
When they finally wrap it up in this this run of trilogy of the graphic novel.
Luke went to the dark side.
Yeah, but you'll never guess who saves him.
Who? Oh, you can't say.
Is he saved? I don't know.
Tell us off air.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Neen. Sure it was Neen Num.
I must not.
It was Neen Num. Spoiler alert.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I've pitched a Neen Num standalone web series. Apparently, you're not going to watch it. All right.
Can I be Neen Num?
Have you really?
No.
Oh, thank goodness. The Force is back with you.
Well, that has been a fun, exciting, debate-filled episode of the Jedi Alliance.
Yes.
And I mean,
I have so many questions, and obviously we can't spoil anymore. But trust me, I'm going to pick your brain about it.
With the show wrapping up, that means I have more time to finish reading New Dawn. My update on it. I know I've said I've been struggling through it, but Darth Harloff has been coaching me on how to better approach it.
Yeah.
And it's getting good. The action's picking up. The characters are kind of becoming realized, and I'm enjoying it. And I know you're starting it as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we're going to have New Dawn Book Club here soon. Christian's going to join us for that as well.
I got to read that. I'm almost done with Darth Plagueis. I know that someone sitting in this room is very excited about that. And it is Mark Ellis.
And thank you.
He's falling asleep on his laptop.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reilly, for joining us. Of course, where can they find you out there in the universe?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, Reilly Around. You can find me every day on schmoesknow.com. And you can find me on Fridays on the Schmoes Know Network with Meet the Movie Press with Jeff Snyder from The Wrap.
Going very well.
It's going really well. So, to hit us up. Meet the Movie Pressers.
Outstanding. And before we leave, we like to do what we do every week. We take a moment to pause and pay our respects to a fallen character, being, robot, creature from the Star Wars universe. And this week, in memory, Captain Lorth Nida. Apology accepted, Captain Nida. Those were the words uttered by the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader, moments after ending the life of veteran Imperial and Republic Navy officer Lorth Nida. Nida's death at the hands of Vader is well known. Nida was the commanding officer of the Imperial Star Destroyer Avenger, and in hot pursuit of the Millennium Falcon, when suddenly that ship's pilot, rogue scoundrel Han Solo, dramatically cut off the ship's power and covertly attached it to the back of Nida's Avenger cruiser. What many heralded as a daring and ingenious escape was really a cheap and dirty trick by a known criminal that led to the death of an honest, hard-working Imperial officer. Nida faced the music, which is more than can be said for most of the rebel scum that populated the galaxy at the time, and for that honesty and personal culpability, Lorth Nida died, force-choked by the one he strove to serve well. That's what you know about Nida, but did you know that he was also part of the battle on Coruscant? He was born in Coruscant, and the Coruscant-born Nida had served proudly in the Clone Wars for the Republic. In fact, he was a lieutenant commander of the Republic cruiser called Integrity during the Battle of Coruscant toward the war's end, and thanks to Nida's skills, General Grievous was not able to escape the battle on his ship, the Invisible Hand, with the kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine, which of course led to Palpatine's rescue. But that was Lorth Nida. That's what he did. He was a skilled, efficient, and respected officer who simply showed up and did what was expected of him, and that's why he was one of Admiral Ozzel's most trusted advisors and confidants, and that is why he decided to take a shuttle and speak directly with Lord Vader after losing the Falcon. It was his mistake, and he was willing to stand up and be held accountable, even if that meant his death. Captain Nida died serving the Empire, his crew, his leaders, and himself to the very gasping, choking end.
Well done. Well said.
Well,
Rest in peace.
Rest in
Captain
peace.
Lorth
Oh.
Nida. So
Poor
think about
Nida.
that the next time you watch that movie.
Oh, Nida.
Did he have a family?
He did have some family, and in fact, after his death and the failure after the Battle of Hoth, this is canon, not canon, obviously at this point, who knows? The Emperor had all his family killed, except for one, because he was currently Vilar, I think his name, Vilar Nida, who was in the Imperial Academy at the time, and they did not view him to have enough ambition to worry about him and kill him.
Wow.
So they let him live. And one of the rumors about Nida was that the rumors started that he had a lot of rebellion sympathy because he was part of the Republic Navy before everything turned and it became the Galactic Empire.
It's funny
That was
because
really good.
we're about to break an exclusive on schmoesknow.com that episode 7 is The Revenge of Nida. It's actually the whole story.
That's your title.
Yep,
So
there it is.
There you go, learning something there.
Yeah,
so,
the
hey,
sun comes back.
I'm going to cry so hard when I watch it because I'm
There.
watching the original trilogy again.
oh yeah, now you're gonna know.
Nina!
So that has been the Jedi Alliance. Do us a favor. You can watch the show on YouTube if you are now. Don't forget to comment and get involved in the conversation on YouTube.
Hey, we just got 6,000 as well on that YouTube page for the Schmoes Know Podcast Network.
Awesome.
Podcast 6,000.
Awesome. And you can subscribe to that YouTube channel, youtube.com/Schmoes Know Podcast. Catch the Jedi Alliance on iTunes, where I want you to rate and review and subscribe. And, of course, you can find us on Facebook.
Yes, just search Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network. Give us a like on that one because we will be rewarding you if you do follow us with goodies. You get to call on the show. I think we're doing it at 2,000 next.
Yeah.
So we're on our way there pretty quickly. So
Absolutely.
press like.
And a lot more coming. That's where you get the updates on the show. The Schmoes Know Network is growing. Profiles, Guilty Pleasures, Meet the Movie Press, the Schmoes Know main show, which is still live every Thursday, 6 p.m. PST. But this week, last week, we also added the box office breakdown show with Finstock, JT, and this week, Sarah Stretton joined the team. And coming up also today is the debut of Marvel news from Marvel fans. Matt Key, Meredith Placco, Matt Cook, and that whole crew, they're going to take you into the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Hold
and
on.
you are going to enjoy it.
It's Matt, and Meredith on Marvel.
It's like House of M.
Yeah, it's like House of M. I love
That's right.
that.
A lot of M. So be sure to catch them. And, of course, go to schmoesknow.com for all the podcasts there and your movie reviews, news, and clues with our editor-in-chief, Mark Reilly. So that has been the Jedi Alliance.
And many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Nice.
From producers Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know Network crew, we would like to thank you for listening to the Jedi Alliance on the Schmoes Know Network. Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Epic Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Schmoes Know Network episodes, get movie news, and join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesknow.com and find the Jedi Alliance on iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of Schmoes Know